For the Lycan tier 8 dungeon, you need a water weapon and a fire weapon. My recommendation is the Fetus Grimoire as your water weapon and the Orb of Avarice as your fire weapon. In my opinion, the Orb of Avarice is just simply better than the SSR Vulcan hammer. Disclaimer, all these dungeons with Sungjin Woo work with level 60 weapons with no ascension. I cleared them with level 60, no ascension, and over time I upgraded my weapon and I got a couple of dupes which just made the runs faster, but still level 60 weapons, no ascension, still work for these fights. When it comes to the Lycan, which has fire and water elemental weaknesses, you want Emma and Seo, or in general any fire or water hunter together with you to get additional damage, and Min is obviously always the best trying service support. When the fight starts with the fire one, you want to dodge his attack immediately, get a shadow step up, cast Min to increase the damage, and then cast your book. Then he swaps to the fire weakened version, the Ice Wolf. There you go, use your switch to your fire weapon, try to deal as much damage as you can. During the time, make sure to evade his attacks. If you can get a shadow step off, it's better because you are depleting the HP. Just keep attacking the bosses. They also like to summon these minions. That's why you can use Commander's Touch Absorption to quickly gather them around and kill them fast. And you keep this rotation up. Very important here in this fight for tier 8. You don't want to use your ultimate immediately. Save it for the very end, because if you lack the damage, in theory, but you probably will, to immediately kill one of the wolves at the very end, both wolves will be on the field. And so you have your ultimate ready when both wolves are on the battlefield, that you can use your ultimate skill to hit both of them at the same time. This strategy saves you some time and you will be able to clear this fight. Next up we have Igris. Same as I said before, level 60 weapon is completely fine for this. Ideally you want to run the Scythe and the Huntsman shotgun. For support, Min, Emma and Bike does the job. For the weapon skills, you want to use Death Stance with the Dark Element and Multi-Strike with the Dark Element. If you don't have the Dark Element for either one or both of them, you can use a different element, but make sure to use these skills. When it comes to your Blessing Stones, it really depends on what you have. Most of you will probably have the daily quest completion. You can use that for survivability. And when it comes to the actual boss battle, you just wait at the beginning, do your shadow step, then you will cast the Huntsman weapon to deal additional break damage, spam your skills, cast your hunters. Once the break gauge is depleted, you will cast Min Byung-gyu, and so that Igris receives more damage, and then you use your Scythe skill to deal as much damage as possible, and then you repeat this cycle. You don't throw out your skills, you just wait till Igris gets his break gauge back, and then you do the same thing again, do the Scythe till he runs out of HP. This probably will take you a little bit more time than me, but the general strategy still stands. Once he has his break gauge, you just shadow step, do the pistol skill, and then throw out your break, heavy break, medium break skills to get rid of his break gauge, and then you deal your damage, and then keep saving your skills for the rotation. And this is the battle most of you will struggle with, is Cerberus tier 8. This is also the one I struggled the most with. The team I recommend using is Min Byung-gyu, Seo and Nam Choi. Here's a little trick. You can use, if you have Emma's weapon, you can put it on Nam Choi, because Emma's weapon gives additional HP and Nam scales off HP, which allows her to deal more damage. When this battle starts, you start off with Min, and you immediately run to the side with Min, dodge his first attack, then you cast Heavenly Blessing so he receives more damage, and then you swap to Seal. Important while doing in this whole battle is you want to stay on the side of the Cerberus, and you want to make sure that Cerberus is in the middle of the map. You don't want to have him in any corner because he has 2 attacks which deal heavy damage and can one-shot your team members. And to avoid getting killed or to make sure that you survive, you want to make sure that he's not in a corner so you can keep dodging his attacks. This is where the rotation comes in. Now the break gauge is depleted, you cast the Heavenly Blessing. Now they buffed Cerberus so you cannot deal damage when he's using that rage skill of his. Afterwards you did all the debuffs to him or buff to your team, so you swap back to Seal, do your attacks. He casts his meteors. When he casts his meteors, you can either dodge them or you can use a perfect window where you can QTE to get invincibility frames so you don't receive damage while the meteors go to the ground. Important is in this whole fight is to dodge the very strong attacks to make sure that your characters don't die. Especially deadly are also these meteor attacks. You want to make sure to dodge them because they will deal a lot of damage. And just keep attacking with CO. CO is your main DPS for this fight. When he's doing that, when you get that red flash, you need to have him like in the middle, which I just mentioned, and you need perfect timing to evade this because you see he's still rotating around like his little Beyblade. And then you swap to Numb, do your damage in the freeze, get off a ult, keep attacking a little bit here and there. And then you swap back to Min, dodge his deadly attacks, then you cast back up your buffs, and then you swap back to Seal and keep up your damage. And you just basically repeat this cycle till the boss dies. The thing here is when it comes to Cerberus, you really have to test depending on if you're able to clear it. Do you have enough damage? Most of your damage really comes from your gear, so the stronger your CO is and your Numb, the easier it gets for you to beat this battle. You really need to make sure you have the right gear. Against the Spider, you ideally want to run Min together with Bike and Choi. This is your setup to fight tier 8 Spider. When it comes to the battle, actually they made the battle a little bit easier because they changed that the one skill of the Spider, which does this weird thing which can stun you, will now just slow you down instead of stunning you. Here you just start off with Min, do your Heavenly Blessing, and then you swap to Bike. And with Bike, you just want to keep using his skills to destroy the Spider's break gauge till it's destroyed. Once it destroys, you switch to Choi, which I did here because the Spider is actually just, there's like a short window where it's actually down and then it will go back to recover. So when you go there in this situation, what I do is I just press the basic attack skill with Choi to make sure I can use the QTE for Min to get the ults up, and then you just keep running around with the Spiders because they just die when they are near you, so you don't have to fight them. Then you cast Heavenly Blessing with Min when the Spider is back, and then you attack with Bike again to break his break gauge. Here's the strategy in this second cycle is you wanna destroy his break gauge, then cast his ultimate skill, and immediately after casting the ultimate skill switch to Choi and use his ult or skills to kill the Spider immediately. Here in this situation for me right now, for some reason I dealt too much damage, so the Spider decided before I was even able to break the Spider to just go back and heal himself up. Then you do the ult, swap to Choi, use his skills real quick, and this is where you kill the boss. Yeah, and that's how you farm all these the Encore missions and the instance dungeon. I hope you like this video. I hope this helps you out for your progression as well. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below, and if you're new to this channel, feel free to subscribe. See you next time. Deuces.